Good morning. I got up way earlier than I needed to, but that's okay. It's 6:50 and I'm supposed to leave here at 8, so I might have overdone it a little. I'm glad I could wake up and have enough time to enjoy my breakfast. Really good. For today. 24 hours ago, I had no clue that today was gonna be one of the most memorable days that I have had in Ireland. Today was absolutely incredible. It all started last night when I got a text. Hey, I have a free ticket for this tour. Would you want to join me? Yes. I was so excited when I got this text. Immediately I was like, thank you so much. I am so grateful that I got this opportunity because I visited one of my favorite towns in Ireland that I've ever been to, and I saw one of the most beautiful places that I hope to visit again sometime. So yesterday it was culture night in Ireland, so I was exploring the city. It was cool. Made a postcard. I cannot explain to you how cool Ireland is because one of the events that I went to for culture night in Ireland was literally at a bus station where people catch their buses to travel somewhere, and they just had music playing in the middle of the bus station that was organized by culture night. It was literally a huge band of Irish musicians just playing music, and all the people who were there for their buses, they just sat and watched joyfully. This is incredible. Anyways, I got that text, and today was one of the most amazing days. I really just want to emphasize, try not to place expectations for things, because placing expectations, you're either gonna surpass it or you're gonna place your expectations way too high, and then because you set your expectations so high, it could mess up the outcome. I had no expectations going in. Never really heard of any of the places that I visited today, but when I visited, it was truly amazing, and I want to go back to every single place I visited today just to take it in so much more. I'm not just saying that just because. It was a great experience. I went to Bantry. Bantry was such a beautiful Irish town. Like, when I think of an Irish town, this is what I think of. There were little shops everywhere. There were boats. I walked to a Bantry garden and castle place. I didn't go in because the tickets were expensive to go in, but even though I didn't get to see any live Irish music, it is probably my favorite Irish town that I've been to so far since staying in Ireland. I'm just gonna put up a bunch of pictures here and videos just to show you how awesome it was. I really like the non-touristy spots. If you're looking for something like that, I really suggest going to Bantry because it felt like such a small little town. I looked it up, the population is like 2,000 or 3,000 people. We literally were driving through the mountains and then randomly this town appears. I was like people live in this amazing place. Can I please live here? Bantry really reminded me a lot of Alaska. I don't know if it's because of the boats and the water or the little colorful shops around, but I only had about an hour or so to walk around, but I need to go back. And then we went to another little town that was even smaller, and it was called Glengarriff. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Hold on. Glengarriff. It was an even smaller town. Literally, it had one little street that I could walk across in like 15 minutes. And it had this scenic little trail along the water.
But he's there. I don't know he's there. Yeah, that's true. He's such a cutie. Well, it's okay.
One thing I've noticed about people in Ireland, especially in the smaller little towns that I visit, they're always looking to start some conversation. In both Glengarriff and Bantry, there were people who just would walk past me and say, "Good morning." And I don't know if it's because it's such a small town they know who outsiders are, or if that's just like how they are and they're always open to starting conversations. But it's so nice because I feel so welcomed here, even though I'm not Irish and I'm not from here. I feel so welcomed into their culture. I feel excited to get the chance to experience these towns that I travel to and meet people who live there. Glengarriff, I think, has a population of like 200 or 300 people, so way smaller than Bantry. And the last stop that I went to today was like, no picture can do it justice. This place was called Gougane Barra. I hope I'm saying this right too. Gougane Barra?
Here we're going to start in Gougane Barra in the heart of West.
Gougane Barra. Okay. Gougane Barra is one of the prettiest places I've ever been to. When I was there, it has a little church in the middle of the water that you can go into. There were fishermen literally standing almost hip deep in the water just fishing. There were goats and sheep. There were sheep everywhere you would look. And the hills were the biggest hills I have seen. They weren't really mountains because it's just rolling hills that just slowly curve up, but they were huge, and every time I looked away and looked back at the hills, they looked even bigger than I remember. I walked on a little trail along the water again, and I could very faintly hear water running somewhere. So I literally stood there, looked up at the tall hills. I found 3 little parts hidden in the hills where the water was streaming down and making the sounds. But I was so happy there. With the stresses of real life, I really needed this, and I think God knew that I really needed this, because when I was there, I was so content, and I wasn't worrying about anything. I wasn't thinking about the next thing on my to-do list. I was just so happy taking in this place in the middle of Ireland that I never knew about until today. Not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future. I was in that present moment. It was so calming and the best end to this day full of adventures. And it was the perfect weather. It wasn't rainy, it was bright and sunny all day. I am so thankful that I got to experience this, because if it were not for my friend that had an extra ticket, I probably never would have experienced this. The main thing I learned from today is to place no expectations. You never know where you'll be the happiest. When I looked up Gougane Barra when I first heard about it, I really wasn't expecting something as magnificent as this. I couldn't have asked for a better experience today. I really hope that this experience can encourage you to go out, try something new, because you never know what will happen. This trip today really showed me what I'm passionate about and what means the most to me. One thing that's a bit difficult is I wish I could share these moments with my family. I know they would love it. It's so incredible exploring places that I never would have thought existed. Even though I'm so grateful for the possibility of spending this time with one of my friends, I also would still love for my family to be here with me. I read this book one time. It was called Into the Wild. It was about this solo traveler who was aspiring to go to Alaska. In it, he said, "Happiness is only real when shared." And when I first read that, I didn't know if I believed it. I was reminded of that quote. Maybe it was because of how Bantry reminded me of Alaska and the connection with Alaska. Somewhere along my trip today, I was reminded of that quote, "Happiness is only real when shared." Yes, I was so happy today for this experience and for the ability to meet new people and travel to these places. I don't know how much I agree with Chris McCandless on his quote, but I think it holds a lot of truth. Of course, I can feel happy doing things that I love on my own, but there's a reason why I want to tell these stories and meet people and explore different cultures. I feel like I'm truly my happiest when I share my experiences with other people, whether that be calling my family or just meeting new people, as scary as it can be sometimes. I think one of the truest forms of happiness comes when you share it with others. I know it definitely depends on person to person, but that's just something I've been thinking about a lot today. There's a reason why I'm making these videos, and it's because I want to share it with everyone, to share this happiness, and hopefully you can find the same happiness somewhere. Wherever you find happiness, I hope that you find it and you are able to share it with others. Because I value exploring so much and my family, I think this is why I'm making these videos, because I want to share it with the people who have been there for me since day one, or for as long as I can remember. So I hope that I can share my happiness with you, and you can take that happiness and share it with more people that you meet. Yeah, I didn't think that I would talk about this today, but I've also thought about making videos where I just sit here talking and it's just a straight video with very minimal editing. So I guess I'm trying that out today. But again, today was incredible, and I'm off to Mahon Falls tomorrow and Yugo, so stay tuned for more videos. I have a very eventful day tomorrow. I'm trying a new style of video today, I guess, and tomorrow, or the next video you see, it'll probably be another style as well. Thanks for sitting through this talk. If you're still here, I hope something resonated with you. Yeah, bye.